If you've achieved nothing, you should for sure be humble. Absolutely. So that's number one. That's the number one reason to be humble. The number two reason to be humble, there's always a bigger dog, right? There's always someone who's outperformed you, whether it's with money, with women, with style, with height, with physique. There's always someone bigger. That's the second reason to be humble. Number three is that people look well upon humility. But here's the caveat. If you're a homeless person and you're humble, no one respects that. They think you should be humble. If you're wildly successful and you're humble, that's remarkable. So that's important. But I will tell you number two, a lot of very successful people, you'll find that they don't really come off as humble. And the reason is because it requires a lot of self-talk and affirmation and self-reaffirmation to perform at a high level. So for example, when you are Floyd Mayweather and you're saying you're the best ever, yeah, it's arrogant, but it's also reaffirming in your mind that that's your mission, that's your mindset, that's your identity. If you ask me, I truly, if you ask me, if you were my son or my brother, I would prefer you to be arrogant and hardworking than humble and not hardworking. Because when you're arrogant and you talk a big game, you feel like you need to deliver. And I want you to know that if you talk a big game, you need to deliver a big game. That's why I'm putting on these fucking wool socks. Because I tell you people that I exercise every day. Guess what? I'm about to deliver. So I think arrogance is fine if you're delivering the goods, if you're leveraging it for positive self-talk to drive yourself to extraordinary ends. Mostly we do too much thinking and too much planning, not enough acting. So if you can do something without thinking too much, I think that's the best way. When you think about things, it scares you off a lot of times. When people are disrespectful to you, assuming that it's not because of something circumstantial like your race or they think you're ugly, if it's not something circumstantial that you just can't change, it's a lack of rapport. Meaning that you need to have a frank conversation and first show the person that you care about them and you respect them. You need to get an understanding of who they are and who they feel they are in relation to you. But generally speaking, if your boss is disrespecting you, they're probably not going to promote you. They're probably not going to help you thrive. And I would probably look for a different department or a different job, okay? And I don't want you to be scared. And anytime you have a job, you should always be looking for the next opportunity. That doesn't mean you're not going to stay at your current job for 100 years. It just means you always have to have opportunity. Same thing with the pimping. One is so close to none, okay? You always got to have something in your back pocket. That's why when a woman talks crazy or disrespectful, you need to always let her know, hey, you're lovely, but I do not need you. And that's what keeps them around because they know they have to constantly earn their spot